Hello and welcome back, guys, to another Minecraft tutorial, guys. This one is going to be for Bedrock Edition and Java Edition as well. This is going to be a creeper farm build that works with both. There's only one slight difference that you'll have to make, and I'm going to show you what that difference is. So let's not waste any more time and let's get into it. Okay, to start this thing off, the first thing I want to say to you is we need to chunk align this farm. Some people are going to disagree, some people are going to agree, but this is what I do for this farm because it makes this farm a 5-chunk farm. You want a 5-chunk farm more than a 4-chunk farm. So let's get started. For Bedrock Edition people, you're going to have to do this by finding your chunk borders. Obviously, if you're on Java, you could just push the F3G to get your chunk borders, to show the debug screen. Alright, so we don't have that on Bedrock, so we're going to do it like this. I'm going to build this in Bedrock, but you can do the same thing in Java. But the first thing we're going to do is find this chunk border. So let's go ahead and do that now by spreading out some leaves. Go into video, turn off fancy leaves, place one a few blocks away from your leaves that you have, find the edge of it, break the outside leaf. That should go and change all of them except for the ones on the very other far side here. Go ahead and separate that. Now you're not far away from finding your chunk. We're going to go back to the video settings. We're going to change that fancy leaves option back on. We already did these two sides right here. We're going to do the other two sides here. So we can go a little bit of distance from this end, and it's going to change this block. All you really need are two sides to mark the sides of your chunk. So we know this side is accurate and that side is accurate. So all you need to do is bring these over, connect these two sides, and then just count from 16 from this corner that direction and count 16 in that direction. Don't forget to count the block you're standing on. Once you've done that, you should have marked out a square that looks like this. This is going to be your chunk. Now you need to come to the center of this. You can do that by counting from the side 8 blocks inward, and from the other side next to it 8 blocks inward, and you'll find your center point. Okay, so we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is going to be the center block. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we know that these are the center blocks. Okay, once you have the center of your chunk, you're going to go up 128 blocks from the center of your chunk. Keep in mind, if you have a mountain nearby, you're going to want to do this from the top of the highest point near you. So if you have a mountain nearby, I suggest you building this on top of the mountain. Otherwise, you're going to have to compensate and add 128 blocks to the height of that mountain if it's close by, if it's really super close. Okay, so we're going to go up 128 blocks, and that's where we're going to be making the platform. Okay, but first we need to make sure that we keep track of the other 3 blocks. I'm going to go up on 1 block, but we need to keep track of the other 3 blocks because you're going to want to keep this farm center. Once you get up here and you keep this centered of your chunk, you get your 4 blocks here for the center. You're going to go ahead and expand this, and you're going to turn this leaf platform into a 12 by 12 platform to give yourself plenty of room to move around. Make sure you mark your center on top of the leaves. You don't want to lose that. That's very important. Alright, I did end up making this a 12 by 12 leaf platform that I just broke. Alright, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to come 1 block away from these central chunk blocks here, and you're going to place 2 chests just like that, with a hopper going into the chest on both sides. Okay, next you're going to get some regular rails, put 2 right here on top of these hoppers and on these far blocks behind you. Now just put a powered rail on one side and then on the other. You're going to come in and place a redstone torch on the side, and a block on top of that that's solid. Do the same thing on this other side, and this is what's going to power your rail system so that you can have a minecart collection. Put your minecart on, give it a little push, and it should start spinning around. Now, I want to take a second to mention that this is the Bedrock method because we're going to be building a Trident killer. Now, for Java Edition, I'll have to show you how to build a killing chamber for that in just a moment. Once you've got your minecart system in place, hop on top of this chest, crouch down, place a leaf block right on top of that far rail in the corner, either one, and then just place a couple on top of those like this in front of them. Create that square that you have for the center of this chunk once more, and then go ahead and expand this out 2 more on all sides. Okay, now you have your platform. Go ahead and square this off, make this a square platform. And now let's build that Trident killer. You're going to need a regular piston, you're going to need an observer, and you're going to need redstone torch. Now, it's going to take 4 of each of these. You're going to place a piston on the far side, 1 block from this edge. You're going to walk facing that piston forward, turn to your right, place a piston in the same spot on the other side. You're going to continue this all the way around until you have 4 pistons just like this staggered. Now you're going to place an observer right beside that piston. You want the face of the observer facing outward, and the little red output of the observer is going to be going into the piston. Okay, you're going to do this all the way around, all 4 pistons. After you're done with that, get a redstone torch, place it on the side of each piston, place a lever on your piston, turn it off. Alright guys, to build this on Java Edition for a killing chamber, we're going to need some hoppers, some chests, you're going to need slabs, and a wall block. Go ahead and grab one of those right here. And you're going to need some solid blocks as well. So let's get a couple solid blocks. Now we're going to start out by placing chests. Let's say that this is your central point right here. Okay, what you're going to do is place chests on the sides of the central point. Just like that. You're going to place hoppers going into those chests. Just like this on both sides. So you should have 4 chests, 4 double chests, and 4 hoppers there. And each hopper is going into a double chest. Next thing is you're going to place wall blocks in front like this. Could be 4 wall blocks from chest to chest. Place down 2 slabs right in front of these wall blocks. Then on top of these wall blocks, you're going to go up 2 blocks. Place 2 glass blocks just like that. That leaves you a space here that you can crouch and walk underneath. These wall blocks will keep you from going too close. Now from here, you're going to do slabs on top of the hoppers. Then you're going to have to do slab, upper slab on top of your chest just like this. And bring that all the way around until you come around to the other side. Now you can break the corners or leave them, up to you. But just keep in mind, if you have those corners there, you have to do that all the way up the tube. If you don't, you're going to have to make sure that those are spawn proof with lighting or whatever. From here, you're just going to build your tube up on top of these slabs, go all the way up to the farm with whatever blocks you choose. One last thing I want to add that I recommend doing is come to the side. On the side of this slab, you're going to want to put a trapdoor that you can flip down like that. On Java, you're probably going to have to place a temporary block right here in front and place the trapdoor on it so you can flip it down. But this is so the creepers can't see you when you're off to the side here trying to do stuff over here in the chest, because the creepers in the back corner can sometimes see you. Now let's build the tube to get the mobs from the farm that's going to be up there down to the killing chamber that's down here. First thing you want to do is get yourself up to the same level as the Trident killer. So build yourself up there however you like. Personally, I like to use leaves because leaves are spawn proof. So you don't have to worry about mobs on the leaves. I'm going to start by placing glass on top of each one of these. You do not have to have this tube completely dark. I've seen some people build it out of the tinted glass all the way down. You don't have to do that, but you can. You can also build it out of solid blocks all the way down, with the exception of the last couple blocks here, so you can actually see what's going on in the chamber if you don't want to use the expensive tinted glass. So I'm going to go ahead and build this thing out of tinted glass just for the sake of the tutorial, so that we can all see what's going on inside there. All right, I've already had this pre-made tinted glass tube here. I wanted to go ahead and show you what it should look like. Standing on top of the glass tube, I am 21 blocks from the ground of where we're going to be standing, so that will give the mobs a 21 block fall. That should make them pretty weak for you, so they're easier to kill. Now let's get on to building the water streams. First thing you're going to do is place solid blocks or whatever you're using for your farm all the way across the top of this area here, on top of this glass. Make a square just like this. Then go to your corners and raise those up 3 blocks, just like that. Do that in all 4 corners. You should have something that looks like this. Now you're going to come out from these edges 8 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then you're going to go up 1. Go ahead and bring this one out. Make it match there. Then you're going to come back on this one 7 blocks. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Go ahead and bring this one back. Now go ahead and fill in your walls. And you're going to do this on all 4 sides, which means this one, that one, and that one. The same thing. Once you've done all of that, you should have your water streams completed. Don't forget to build your wall on the back here, just like this. When you're done with all 4 sides, it should look just like this. Okay, now you have to do your spawning platforms. Now, the way we're going to do this is we're going to start right here in one of these corners, and you're going to count from this block on the edge and come this direction to the 6th block. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Once you get this last block, you're going to come across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The same thing from that side. Once you've got all that in, go ahead and fill in this area. Now on this side, right after this 6th block here in this corner, you're going to make a wall block on the next diagonal. Then you just fill out the rest of this all the way and match it up to the floor right here. This is going to be your spawning platform. And you're going to duplicate this on the opposite side as well. Okay. After that, you're going to go ahead and fill in your walls. Should be too high. And you're going to do this all the way around the farm. After you've got the platforms done, your platforms should look like this. Then you're going to come in and you're either going to use trapdoors or you're going to use the coral fans, because in Bedrock Edition, mobs see the coral fans as a block and they try to cross it, and of course they can't walk on it, so they fall in. You can use either one you want. I'm demonstrating with both, just so you can see both of them being used. Okay, now the next step is a little bit more fun. Depending on if you are on Bedrock or if you are on Java Edition, you're going to want to use slabs or buttons. If you're on Bedrock, you're going to want to use buttons. Come to these inside corners, place a button on each inside corner to get yourself started out. Then you're going to skip 1 block and place a button. You're going to have 1 block in between each. And you're going to do this all the way across all of this farm. And you're going to have to start on the corners on the inside. If you do not start on the inside corners, you are going to be in trouble, because you will have spider spawns. Your rates will be affected. it's just going to be a waste of a farm. If you are on Java Edition, same thing applies. Make sure you place a slab, fence post, or carpet on the inside corners. You have to start on the inside corners. If you do not, you're going to have spider spawns. Start on the inside corner, except on Java Edition, you skip 2 blocks and place your other block, your slab, fence post, or whatever you're using. Keep skipping 2 blocks in the middle and placing again. And you're going to come all the way to the end. This is going to be the wall. Hope I didn't confuse you guys with having the wall partially built before. But in the next one, we have the wall already built, so it's fine. You're going to keep skipping 2 blocks and keep placing these slabs or fence posts or carpet until you get to the wall. If you're on Bedrock Edition, this is what it should look like. Depending on whether you use trapdoors or the coral fans, go ahead and place in your water in the water streams here. Let's place in 2 buckets of water right here. Bring up 2 buckets with you so you'll have an infinite water source. Once you've got this portion done, you're just going to duplicate these spawning platform layers directly above 2 blocks high. Your next layer should be right about here. So you have 2 block space that you can walk under yourself. The only next step is you're going to have to come in and cover the entire ceiling with trapdoors of both layers that you create. So once you create that second layer up above this one, you're going to cover that ceiling of that layer with trapdoors. There should be no confusion in this. Just duplicate what you did down here, up here on this layer. So you'll have a button here. Once you're done duplicating the bottom layer, all these platforms up one higher, and placing all of your trapdoors, you should have something that looks like this. Okay? Now all you have to do is put a roof on this, and your farm is complete. Okay, once you've covered the top of your farm and made a roof, the next thing you're going to want to do is put some sort of light source up here. Torches are cheap and easily done, so I'm just going to use some glowstone because we're in creative. Make sure you light up the roof very well. You do not want the mobs to spawn on the roof instead of in your farm. Very important. Now let me show you another very important step. While you are inside this farm building, make sure you light it up as you go, because if you do not, you are going to have mob spawns. This is a 5-chunk farm, so when you're over here on this side placing buttons or whatever, you're going to have mobs spawn on the other side. Okay, we've already got a creeper right here. Now I have most of this lit up, so it took him a few seconds to spawn in, but not too long. Okay, the last step for you Bedrock users, you're going to throw in your Trident into the killing chamber here. 1, 2, 3, or 4, however many you want to throw in there. That's completely up to you, honestly. I would put a trapdoor here so you can toss those Tridents whenever you need to. And to collect them, you can always just stand right here in the corner when this thing is on, and you will collect that Trident. So we already have a creeper falling down here. I'm going to turn this thing on, and you can see how this thing works. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of a time lapse to see what kind of gunpowder that we get in just a 5-minute period. All right, let's check and see what we got now. We've got 33 actually. So just around about a half a stack of gunpowder in 5 minutes. That's not bad. I actually done some rate testing on this farm, and I get about 8 stacks per hour. I actually did an hour test on this and got right at 8 stacks. From what I've been seeing, other farms are only getting about 6 stacks per hour. So 8 is pretty good for 1.18. All right, so now let me get over to my hardcore world and show you guys what this farm does in Java Edition. All right, guys, we're over here in my hardcore world, Java Edition, of course, obviously, and I'm going to show you guys the rates of this farm for 5 minutes in the Java Edition. So, we do have this creeper farm, same farm, and yes, it is out of deep slate. I did kind of want to make it out of deep slate. I'm not really sure why, but I did. So as you can see, these guys are falling out already. I'm going to go ahead and clear out these chests, and we're going to do a 5-minute test. All right, guys, a little bit at the start there. I couldn't get these things cleaned out fast enough. These guys started piling up in the chamber. But there was only a couple in the chamber, probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 when I started. The only thing I did was took all the gunpowder out with the exception of a single one in each slot. So in this one chest, we've got a little over a stack. This one chest, we've got almost a stack and a half. So that's already 2.5. Over here on this side, we've got another stack and a little over. And same thing here, almost a stack and a half. So you might as well say 2.5 and 2.5. So that's 5 stacks in 5 minutes. That also shows the difference between Bedrock and Java, am I right? Because on Bedrock, we only got half a stack in 5 minutes. On Java, we got 5 stacks in 5 minutes. That's like a stack a minute. That's pretty good if you ask me. These guys are already piled up again, see? Just waiting to give their gunpowder in such a gracious manner. Perfect. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I'm glad everybody could make it here. Thank you so much. And guys, if you want to see more tutorials, please let me know down in the comment section. Thank you so much for being here. If you have any issues, the comment section is down there just for that. Ask me a question, but please watch the video because I will not answer questions that are in the video. As for a materials list, I will try to put one together for you guys because I realize this is a massive farm. This farm does take up 5 chunks. So you're going to need, a whole lot of materials. To be honest with you, it's going to be so many materials. When I built this in my hardcore world, I actually used a lot of logs. Like so many logs, I don't even know. So I'll have to add it all up and get you guys a materials list, okay? Well, thanks, everybody. Hope all you guys have a great morning, day, or night, and I'll see you later on. All right, bye, everybody.